So can everyone here stand on this side just so you can see?
I'm going to demonstrate for you guys.
So a lot of you, here, you can come closer. Don't be scared, don't be scared. So a lot of you are making the same mistakes that I just went over with our friend Evan on the other court. And it's having a very big extra movement on the forehand. Maybe this letter C is going to work in mini tennis, but in a real point when the ball's fast, you're going to pretty much be screwed. Okay, it's not going to be fun because you're going to shank. So from the ready position, the best corrective measure that you can do is just keep your non-hitting hand on the throat of the racket longer. Okay, a lot of you also tuck in the elbow. Okay, you're in here like this, like a T-Rex. Okay, we want the elbow up and on the outside of our body. We want to get rid of the letter C, the Canadian forehand. Okay, a lot of us have been taught this way, and unfortunately it's stopping a lot of you from getting to the next level. So if we can start setting up like this, and just so you know, it's okay to invert the racket as well. You want to relax the wrist and have this delay. Okay, we're just keeping the racket head in front of our body. The more you hood the racket face, it'll also help you get spin. Okay, so that's what you want to have in your setup. And a lot of us want to take the racket back here because it's like, oh, if I only turn to here, I'm going to lose power. So it is true, the more we turn, the more power we're going to get. But if we want to take our racket back here, the body has to come along as well. Okay, so we actually want to get not just sideways, but more than sideways. We want to get our shoulders past our hips in the setup. And that's really the key to getting a lot of power. Okay, we went over some other things in Evan's swing. And the follow through, something that not a lot of you do as well. Keeping that non-hitting hand up for a very long time, having it level, okay, like you're surfing. A lot of you kind of just forget about it, and the rest of the swing is off balance. Your shoulders end up tilting to one side. So you can use this hand to not only space yourself from the ball, but also to help you stay on balance when you uncoil. Okay. Now, one of the other things that I noticed was our friend Evan here. He was going very high through his hitting zone. Okay. We kind of want to get away from low to high on the forehand. Okay. It needs to be more through and across. When Evan was setting up for the ball, on the high balls, he was taking his racket here first and then coming up. Okay. There's no time for that in high-speed tennis. So you always want to feel like you're setting to the height of the ball. If it's high, I go from here to here. Then I go through and across. If it's low, I just go low right away. Waist level, same thing, height of the ball. You want to get the hand height to the height of the ball. And don't be afraid to swing through and across and wrap around underneath that opposite shoulder. Okay, we can find many examples of lots of follow throughs, and usually it's just a byproduct of, personal style, personal preference. But the reason I encourage people to finish under the shoulder and wrap around like this is because it fixes the hitting zone. You'll find your ball starts to sound different. You get more pop. It's cleaner because you're not scraping up on the ball. Okay. The last thing, always remember that the arm is along for the ride. Okay, you look at lower level tennis players, it looks like they're trying really hard, and that's because they are. Right, the pros, it looks effortless because it is, right? All the work is being done with the bigger muscles, okay? You got to get low. The swing starts from the ground up. If you listen to what I said earlier, you're getting your shoulders past your hips. So all these things play a factor when it's time to get those, what everyone says RPMs, but it's not going to come from just your arm. Okay, Evan was swinging with his arm, then the body. Okay, and I saw some of you doing the same thing as well. You got to throw everything first and the rackets along for the ride. It's the last part. Okay, it's legs, hips. Then we uncoil with the torso and the racket's the last moving part. Okay, the racket is like a 3 out of 10. Okay, the arm is, think about it like a 0. It's got to be loose like a whip. Okay, and that's basically it. So I hope that helps your forehand. And,
So
thanks
you
for
so much,
listening.
Coach Vincent.
Yeah.
Second serve. And your racket has to still start. I think. First serve. Second